sometimes it's good to allow people to fly. Some of my bosses, somebody said, when I was hiring, and then I asked him in that final exit interview, I said, why didn't you ask me to stay? He said, because
Okay, hello and good day to everyone. That is you tuning in here at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Once again, I'm going to be the host for today's episode. My name is Dwayne, and right now we got a really special guest. And to give a brief overview, well, her name is Barbara, and she's basically a real estate whiz. So Barbara has had a 20-year career in real estate, working internationally with 14 Fortune 500 companies as a serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, and an award-winning designer. She focuses on empowering women to create diverse and passive income streams. Her team offers powerhouse partnerships for entry level and ambitious real estate investors alike. Barbara recently transitioned to a shareholder role at Design to Sell, diving back into real estate investing with short term rentals and multifamily apartments. She loves collaborating with top real estate producers and business owners, and she's all about a 10x mindset and the power of one more. Let's hear more for Barbara and get inspired with her incredible journey and insights. So, Barbara, welcome to the show. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling exciting. I am feeling excellent. Every day is a new opportunity, and here I am with you today.
It's good to have you here, and I love the energy. And of course, I love the hair too, Barbara. You're looking really sharp for today's interview, podcast. Well, I guess to start off, Barbara, by any chance, are you from Germany?
I am raised
Oh, bist
and
du Deutscher?
born. Ja, ich bin Deutsche. Ich bin Deutsche. Seit
Oh,
30 Jahren, since
wie
30
lange
years.
hast du im USA?
30 Jahre. 30 years.
30 Jahre.
30 Jahre. Ja.
Oh,
Ja.
Okay, I'm running out of German. Yeah, because I was in Berlin for 2 years. I was trying to learn German, and yeah, it was really fantastic. And I guess I kind of picked up on your accent.
Yeah,
a bit
it's
of
part
it.
of the branding, right? It's not going away. So I'm not
Yes,
even attempting to change it. So
but it's actually good. I don't know. German English accent has that charm to it. Whenever I listen to it, oh, that's it. And I have to say, I miss Berlin. Yeah, I miss Berlin as much as I wanted to go into there. But yeah, so
and it's a beautiful city. I love
it
Berlin.
is
Definitely we can, we can advise everybody and share that this is a beautiful place to visit.
definitely. It's a lot of things happening in Berlin, and definitely if you're one who wanted to like go out to the city, like lots of people, and it's different cultures mixed in one city. That's one of the things that I love about Berlin.
Yeah.
And that being said, so from Germany and United States, what got you to United States in the first place?
So this was, I worked in corporate work, in corporate world for a long period of time, and had the opportunity to first, work local. That was still in technology, and I pretty much had the opportunity to build team, run like operation, and then have been promoted to run some European projects. The headquarters there was in Paris. So I was traveling quite a bit, between the two countries, and then later also Dublin, Ireland for a while. And that is a while back. It was the mega for call centers. So a lot of call center consolidation happened up there. And so I was running that for the department I was hired for. European wide. And after that, was another career move. And with that came to accept an assignment in a foreign country. And I thought it will be Paris, right? Because the majority of my colleagues went to Paris, but it was not Paris. It was Atlanta, USA. And that's what brought me here. And then I never left.
It's kind of like similar to the show that I watch a little bit, Emily in Paris. It's like the opposite, but instead of you going to Paris from America, you went like instead of Paris, you went to America. And
Exactly.
I have to say, it's quite a cool experience and quite a unique kind of background because I've heard you've been working for a tech company and for working
Yeah,
from
and
one of
in different parts. So if you really think, and I strongly believe that there are always transferable skill sets. There's something we learn in every position we held. So I worked for the number one book and magazine publishing company, also that was back in Germany. And so their headquarters was in my hometown, Würzburg in Germany, which is also a beautiful place to visit. A lot of the river cruise ships actually stop there. But that's pretty much how I started in that department. That then led me for the further job search, I was actually hired by Dell Computer, had the opportunity to personally meet Michael Dell, and that's another big learning. Always ask for what you want, and not that he was asking for that interview. I was not at that executive level at that point in time, but he was visiting, and so he was there anyhow. So I just asked, hey, the boss is there, I would love like a 1 minute quick introduction, and he agreed to it. So as simple as that. Things can happen if you set your mind and if you ask. So always ask for what
Oh,
you want, and the worst thing that can happen is say no. That's pretty much then from there. My boss actually was hired by IBM, and he took 5 of his top people with him. We started direct marketing, call center, top operation. That was, again, years ago for IBM. He left after 6 months. I took over the department. The rest is history. So that's part of the level, and then had several opportunities for promotions in that company. That's also what brought me to the US until I met my Mr. Right and had my son, took a break. And after that was pretty much embedded and promoted back into the mothership. And everything I did prior to that was more entrepreneurial. And for whatever reason, it was not quite the perfect match for me. It was too much corporate structure versus entrepreneurial spirit, which I truly enjoyed. The build up, hiring the team, setting up new organizations, processes around it. So I said, okay, I am stopping and rethinking of what I will do next. And then I said, okay, everything I have done so far was corporate and a lot of paper, nothing you can really truly touch. And always had that feel for creativity and design. So I started, friend asked me, oh, what do you want to do? I said, I'm going to a course, investing in real estate. You want to join me? And that's pretty much how the real estate career started.
it's quite really funny and fun to know that your life is pretty much a roller coaster in a way that one thing led to another, and I love how you're able to visualize what you wanted until you get it. I think there's a terminology that we call it the law of attraction. When you
Yeah.
think that you want to get something, if you focus your mind, I will get it, I will get it, I will get it, like
I
the
have, I
entire.
believe, 100%, 100%, and thank you. Yes, absolutely believe in that, because we have to visualize. That creates pictures in our brain. And so every year I have my idea board, my creation mood board, outside of the tactical action plan of the top key actions moving you forward of where you want to go next.
It's all about planning and visualizing, and pretty much the universe will hopefully like align everything within your ideals and needs. And you need to be also flexible to adapt to whichever situation that you're put in.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And you have to be willing to just step out of comfort zone, right? I feel
Hmm.
strongly. And again, another of my life rules is always learn something new every year, where you are a student, where you are in the shoes of a learner, where you are in the shoes of not knowing what that really takes. So be really uncomfortable. And again, it's the same when you're networking or stepping into rooms where you don't know anybody, right? It is easy to default back to what is comfortable. Our brain, has that capacity to always want us to move into safety. and into this area of the known. But growth comes with the unknown, with that uncomfortable and the scary elements as well.
Yes, you know what they say that nowadays, especially for people who are experienced, it's harder to unlearn things than to learn new things. Because as you mentioned, our brain is, wanted to be in the comfortable and the safer side. That's why we have a lot less risk takers that will, hopefully venture into success. But I guess you need to be adventurous and be able to like cleanse your mind and unlearn things that was not necessary in order for you to grow further. And that being said,
Absolutely.
and that
Absolutely.
yes, and that being said, Barbara, so probably how long are you in the business right now that you're currently handling?
So in the real estate industry, for 20 years now. So that's, after corporate career, 20 years in real estate as an investor, but also starting Design to Sell, which is, a luxury home staging company, and, really growing that baby to a structure to be one of the top companies in our market here in the Atlanta area. And so excited, and we're adding, new services, and also have delegated and hired an operations
And
director who's running the company now. So utilizing
okay,
also the
wow.
VAs and the different structure really has helped us in that revised model. I know all of us had and definitely felt the impact of COVID and the changes requiring that. And for that, one of our big changes was making our company environment, and that's actually true for every company I am creating and touching, creating a virtual structure around how we all can work. And of course, there are certain things we cannot outform, right? We cannot really fly, visualizing, to fly product, from one place to another, for there's still a lot of logistic and on the ground work, involved. So warehousing in the case of product, but everything which is in the support structure, where it is repetitive work and also work which can be done remotely, can be outsourced, and also as a small company, allowing people who were not doing specifically that, but allow them for a more flexible work environment, which is an attraction factor. And I think that is one we can offer even as a small company to our team.
Okay. I also believe that as well, having VAs is definitely something that is the future that we have right now. I guess 20 years ago, it's mind blowing that people can work now in the same time zone, working from like thousands of miles from each other. And one of the wonders of becoming having VAs right now, the quality of the work that they provide is not less just because they cost a lot less. You're hiring pretty much the same person who has university degrees and universities, but at the end of the day it will just fall on how you wanted to guide those people as a leader or the leader of your business. So that being said, Barbara, how were you able to have the idea of having VAs? Because I'm sure that you have some doubts like, okay, I'll be
Absolutely,
trusting.
absolutely. And I think we started early. I met, your CEO, Justin, at a conference, and that was a special thanks to my longtime friend and a fantastic businesswoman, Jenna Usselton in Dallas. And so we met. She introduced that original concept. That's how I met Justin and heard about the opportunity. But pretty much immediately after, jumped on that bandwagon of opportunity and hired our first VA. And since we have done that, we have 4 VAs working
Wow.
for our companies right now through Sphere Rocket, and truly find it very valuable. Of course, we all, we're growing. It's the same concept as we are growing as a company. Sometimes skill sets are changing and or performance, and certain people you can promote and educate upwards into new roles, and others need replacement. That hasn't changed, right? That's the typical environment all of
Yeah.
us are working in.
Company
But
setup. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But truly enjoy that and allow, to stay competitive, in this market, and really make us think about what can we outsource versus what needs to stay in-house.
See, and it's really cool to think that you started with one, and I guess in less than a few times you've had four. So that
Yeah.
means that the first one really worked out greatly for you in terms of like having a VA. So can you tell us? So in a scale of like, let's say 1 to 10, how much does having a VA affected your business?
Well, I would say it is an 8 in how it is affected our business, but I'm also German, right? You hardly get a 9 or 10, right? That's just to
Yeah.
understand in how we're looking at things is different. And I also strongly believe if we give 10, there's no room for improvement. So I feel, and again, the 8 is, at a high level because, this means that the expectation setting has been fulfilled, plus in some of the cases even overperformed. But there's always something to move the needle. There's always something to learn because things are changing constantly. And having a partner who is also on that same mindset and thinking about that, and also thinking about strategies and tools who allow us to better better ourselves. That's a key part. It's a key function. So there's great opportunities to bundle education plus having people in house. And I know Sphere Rocket is working on some of that. I feel strongly that the opportunity to have constant education, because let's use the example social media. Things are changing all the time. And as a small company, there's no way to stay on top of all of the changes and how we can improve. So there's no way to do that. So there needs to be elements of updates and optimization all of the time. And as we are working in partnerships to optimize it, it's the same with tools. What are now tools who were perfect and we're evolving with them, and others, we want to see some changes because, world is changing. Video is a key element now. That is coming new. These are new strategies. So how can we utilize it and really transform skill set and education? Similar, like I call it like an agency model. You have your, strategists and you have your work team. And that kind of like aligning is, I think, a fantastic opportunity.
I love how much evolution, how much open your mind is in terms of like getting into new technology and new things. And I think, I don't know, I've been into Berlin for a while. I don't know, like German businessmen, they're quite susceptible or like open to kind of changes. I mean, startups are in Berlin were quite huge as well. And the way you talk as well, when you give it an 8, I was really surprised because as a German person, 6 is wow, it's already good enough because you're really like you're really down to the details, waiting for like something like there's always room for improvement as well, and knowing that VAs were
Yeah.
able to change
Well,
up
the
your
majority of, what you most probably used is like a 9 or 10, right? Because that
yes.
is what most of the people say. And I understand it, but I even tell my team as I assess their performance, if your performance is there, then most probably then you outperformed us. Then most probably it's time for you to find something else. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Unless we have a
Definitely.
career path for you in our company, which is okay too. I believe that there's an element of life cycle of a certain element of position, because if that position is not changing, it's actually good. So sometimes it's good to allow people to fly. Some of my bosses, somebody said, when I was hiring, and then I asked him in that final exit interview, said, why didn't you ask me to stay? He said, because you are ready to fly. You have to be outside here. You have to move up to the next, and it's your time to do that. Doesn't mean that you cannot come back in a different position if that is your desire. But he said, I don't see that. And he was right. He was right.
He's German?
Well, that was German. That was back in Germany.
Oh,
Yeah.
But that is, that's really, quite something to hear from like, your boss or employee to, allow you to go on to the, because normally they would say, oh no, you deserve to be in my company. You stay in this company. That means that, they actually care for you, not just, an employee in the company, as someone, as a person as well.
But I believe as a duty, as a business owner, and or also in the relationship, if you see potential, same, back when I was in corporate, I had one of the highest amount of people I promoted when I saw potential. Some of them I promoted up, and they even went to positions above me. I have it never stopped me. If I see potential, that potential, you have to let people fly. They should go up. If that is the right path for them, then, they should take it. And I love that too. I had several people with, some of my employees I'm even in contact until today. And some of them, I said, okay, I pushed them into the water. This person is leaving, you're taking that over, and I know you can do it. I know you can do it, right? So, and I knew they said, there were times they were really challenged, but they also were pushing forward because they didn't want to disappoint me, and they also believed in what I said. So sometimes if you see that potential in others, I think it's our duty.
Yes. And you know what? It makes you feel like a proud kind of like mentor or like parent for that person that, oh, I believe she was, I remember back then she was working for me and now she has achieved so far. And, it's
Fantastic.
good to know that you're part of the, the journey of the success of that person. And,
exactly.
Nothing can beat that kind of like kindness and happiness. And I guess now that we can go on to the final part of the podcast is in regards to your business. So can you tell us more about, what services you provide, products you sell, and what are the best ways to contact you?
Absolutely fantastic. So for Design to Sell, this is a luxury home staging company, but we're actually adding additional services and also allow people to order product online. In the moment, that's only available here in the US. So that is that part. And that is what our team is running there. In the other areas of real estate, I am pretty much, we're syndicators. So I own a real estate company and we're buying apartments. So this is an opportunity for others, to own a percent of a larger building. So that's pretty much it. So everything is real estate related. And again, it comes down to there's an element of, beautification for profit, because everybody also deserves a place they enjoy and call home, right? So that's the main part. And it doesn't matter at what level, right? At what price tag, everybody deserves that. So that's one of my newest ventures outside of also, having published a couple of books and being a lot on podcasts, trying to inspire others to sharing my story and inspiring others. That, the saying is, if I can do it, you can do it, you can too, right? So that sometimes we need to hear it. And often there is, often people stop, shortly before the finish line because, things are not going the right way. And, things are never going straight line. We have to adjust and pivot as needed. But never give up. Never give up.
Success is never easy, definitely. And you know what, Barbara, consider me one of the people that you've inspired and one of your podcasts right now, because, I definitely learned a lot. And pretty much, I guess you also offer coaching for some people as well.
I have done that in the past, more limited right now. I'm very selective. So I'm not actively inviting, but I will start next year. I will start some masterminding again, with selected people. So I truly enjoy that. And, there is something when you are in the right sphere, when you meet people with the same mindset. So I'm very selective because I feel that's where growth comes if you bring the right people together, the right network of learning structures. So, yes.
Consider yourself one of the lucky ones if Miss Barbara decides to have you as one of her mentory people. Then that being said, Barbara, the best way to contact you would be via website.
It's Barbara at barbarahs.com. So my name, Barbara, and then the initials of the last name, barbarahs.com. That's the website. That's the best way to find out more about me, events I'm attending, and offerings in all areas. Thank you.
And you also have your QR code here, so I guess people will be able to scan that for more information. So
absolutely.
I guess that is unfortunately the end of the podcast episode. I know, Barbara, you got quite a busy day ahead of you. So I guess that is all for me. Barbara, you wanted to have any closing statements before we finish this episode?
Absolutely. Parties really never go up, and connect with people who raise your vibration. I think that was another game changer, because when you meet and have a conversation, sometimes there is a connection, a feel that yes, there's more. And sometimes it doesn't matter how successful somebody is, even if it's in the right sphere of your industry, it's not there. And if you follow your gut feel and use that as another element of connecting, it can be an amazing game changer.
See, definitely. It's all about finding the right people and, finding the people that,
absolutely
have the same frequency with.
Connect with people who raise your vibration.
Yes. So, that being said, das ist alles. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Und noch einen schönen Tag.
Schönen Tag, yeah. Good luck for deine Unternehmen. My German is kind of failing me.
No. I'm so appreciative that you tried. Dankeschön. Und herzlichen Dank nochmals für die Einladung. It was a true pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.sphererocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Sphere Rocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.